Somewhere beyond the sea, a cube's waiting for me.
Hey, it's you! Come on and join us!
You're here for part 2 of our summer countdown calendar 2026 from Phoenix Artisan Accoutrements.
It's a beautiful morning with the Barbershop Duet.
Hi, I'm Marcus Klinger with Klinger Vocal Studio.
And I'm Sarah Vincent with Sarah Vincent Virtual Pilates.
But on Wednesdays and Saturdays,
we are the Barbershop Duet.
Hey, y'all, come on in. Thank you for finding our little barbershop. If you happen to be here during one of the live premieres on YouTube, why, come on in the live chat. Meet the Whiff Pack. Cool group of friends hanging out from all over the world. They'd love to meet you too. And for our mention today, we wanted to make sure that you knew this was part 2 of a very special episode celebrating the 2026 Summer Countdown Calendar from Phoenix Artisan Accoutrements. Last year, it was celebrating ice cream flavors from the 80s and 90s, and this year, we are going headlong into the Bermuda Triangle. Now, we have already opened days number 1 through 3, so why don't we catch you up?
All right, our first store was the Ellen Austin, which is an homage to Luna Rosa Carbon from Prada.
And day number 2 was a fabulous homage to the most iconic aquatic I think I've ever run across, Bleu de Chanel.
And day 3 was actually a PAA original, USS Cyclops AC-4.
And y'all, there is also some lore that we did not cover on the last episode from the back of the box, so why don't we re-meet the soaps? All right, y'all, the lore itself from the back of the countdown calendar from Phoenix Artisan Accoutrements.
High Strangeness Fragrance Calendar, the Bermuda Triangle Edition. They say it all began with Columbus in 1492 while sailing uncharted seas. His crew watched in awe as the compass spun wildly. Strange lights danced on the horizon and a fiery orb plunged into the Atlantic. What they couldn't have known then was that they were witnessing the birth of a mystery that would baffle humanity for centuries, the enigma we now call the Bermuda Triangle. And now, Shave Cadet, it's your turn to investigate.
On June 15th, open door number 1, the date that marks the first great mystery. Each day that follows, open the next door to reveal a new and true life tale of Bermuda Triangle strangeness. There are 6 portals in all, each unlocking a fragrance inspired by the scent and atmosphere of its era, a sensory gateway to the unexplained. The goal of our Bermuda Triangle edition is pure, unapologetic paranormal nostalgia, a tribute to those sleepless nights of the 70s and 80s when TV specials, narrated by Leonard Nimoy or Rod Serling, made your imagination burst with mystery. These were the monster classics of real life, vanishing ships, ghost lights, time warps, and otherworldly phenomenon that captured the hearts of dreamers everywhere. Warning: to keep the magic alive, do not peek or skip ahead. Each door must be opened on its proper day to maintain the spell, the suspense, and the sense of wonder that makes this calendar otherworldly. So light your lantern, lather your brush, and prepare to drift into the fog of the unknown. Shave on, Shave Cadets. Well, luckily, being good friends with the Cube, we are inside of a temporal distortion bubble direct from the Bermuda Triangle, allowing us to open every portal here on the show for you today. Let's have our first impression. All right, y'all, door number 4. Now, I am told by the Cube that this is not an homage. This is an original PAA set, but that's the only thing I know about it. And I don't want to tear the calendar. I love the artwork so much. All right,
what's it called?
Oh, look at this. It's stigmatic. It's called
Flight 19.
Ooh, interesting. And y'all, each door comes with its own lore that looks like it's been in the Bermuda Triangle. All right, what have we got going on here?
Maybe an old map? I don't know. There's some kind of things past this text. Flight 19. Top notes: orange, grapefruit, immortelle. Middle: flint, pepper, geranium, base, cedarwood, amber, vetiver, patchouli, and benzoin. December 5th, 1945, 5 Navy Grumman TBM Avenger aircraft lifted off as Flight 19 on a routine training mission over the Bermuda Triangle. The weather was clear and the route was familiar. Then something began to slip. The lead pilot reported compass failure. The ocean below no longer looked right. The formation turned, then lost direction entirely. The final transmissions were calm but uncertain. Then they went radio silent.
No confirmed wreckage was ever found, only open water, and the sense that something cube-like had been seen just before everything went quiet. Ooh, flint, pepper. I wonder if this might be a little bit gunpowdery. Let's find out here. I'm going to take my first impression. Oh, this dives heavy into grapefruit. There's a little bit of a sourness from the citrus, but it's a very clean overall aquatic. But done inside out and upside down, not with bergamot, not with musks. Lots of other things going on in here under the surface. Somehow it's still reading very blue, a clear blue open sky and a turquoise ocean. But then it goes down deep. Hold on, there's patchouli under the surface for sure. But the grapefruit is the crowning glory of this. Somewhere in the middle, the flint is giving me the sense of like a dry gunpowder before the cannon's gone off, keeping it very masculine. Ooh. The orange is pulling against the grapefruit beautifully. And if there are florals in this, it's like a little bit of the sea foam on top of the white caps. That's it. Almost a lemon limey.
Ooh, okay. A little more zesty.
Going on out on the bay with a Sprite in your hand.
Okay.
And when it's cool that the lure attached was from 1945.
Right.
This definitely has the vibe of an aftershave that might have existed back then that our grandfathers used.
Ooh.
Like if you were to take all the sweet and all the musk out of Gillette's Sun Up, this would kind of be that type of thing, I think. And I know there's like vetiver, patchouli, some grassy stuff going on the sea floor, but the benzoin, giving it a beautiful creamy sense. I kind of get cream soda root beer from our benzoin resin from Perfumer's Apprentice, is helping to really ground it in something different. Something even a little strange. And what's cool is of all the aquatics we've smelled so far in this calendar, this one's the most natural. This has the most sense of somebody that's just been outdoors or on the deck of a boat coming back to shore for a while.
As I'm looking at this, there's some writing along with the cube on his hand, and I'm pretty sure that says Agartha. Isn't that part of the PAA lineage?
Yes, we have not experienced it yet, but I wonder if it's similar. Put in the comments if you know. And as my nose gets used to some of the more prominent notes in here, it settles into something clean and white and morning. Well, did it say amber? It did. It said amber. There's streaks of sunlight in here. Not crazy amber, but enough to know that the morning is coming, not going away. Green sky at night. Neighbor take flight. That slightly tangy, slightly sour heart of the grapefruit does not go away. That remains the spine of this little beauty. Okay, take it in. See what you get.
Hey, that's interesting, because grapefruit didn't used to be your friend at the beginning.
It's still not. This is still not my absolute favorite so far of the calendar, but it is lovely. This is kind of how I do like grapefruit being used. It doesn't let it get too sour. The sour is there for a reason, and it's serving a purpose. So it's those things that I can appreciate.
The first thing that my nose gets is kind of like a bronze floral. I don't know where that's coming from. Maybe that's how my brain is catching the grapefruit next to the orange, like it's morphing it into more of like a floral pretty version for me. At least that's where I'm taken off at the beginning. And then it doesn't go too dark for me. It kind of stays in more of like a mid zone overall, whether that's the woods or the peppers or the other kind of newer scents that I'm finding in here. But it's fun compared to the other ones. I got like blue in my face for those first three. This one is much more of that tannish kind of like almost the color of this like map thing for me.
Yeah, I guess that's the way I approach it. Because if I focus on the grapefruit part, it's a golden brown scent. But when I step back, the florals, the other things make it turquoise for me. So maybe it's like an adventure that you start in the morning and you come back at night.
There's a fun side to this, and I think it's the orange. Like, there's just something that I wasn't expecting to come out as, like, thorough as it is. But when you think of being out on the ocean and everything, there's always that threat of needing to have oranges on board because of all of the fear of heads.
Scurvy.
Right.
Yeah.
So for some reason, it really fits, like, this fun strangeness kind of vibe of being on, like, an old-timey ship, especially if it was 1945. Somehow, that's really coming through in a fun way.
I didn't know this all started with Columbus. 1492.
It's all his fault. But there is like this pretty side. It's still clean. It does have a little of that aftershavey vibe, but it's not in the normal way. Like, I'm not getting the normal herbs and spices. I'm getting more of like bright whites and cleans somehow.
This is kind of the most unisex one that we've done so far.
I was going to say that, yeah. Like, I think I would reach for this easier compared to the other three so far. They just were kind of like, if you could be, you know, a little compass here. If we're leaning a little more masculine, those are kind of where those are right. Not that they're like too far away, but this one's kind of bouncing right on that line for me. I'm not getting an overall strangeness or kind of like off kilter, like scary kind of thing. This one's very comforting to me. Like, I feel very welcome in its presence. I kind of want to just hang out there. I do feel like I bumped into somebody's cabin and it just happens to be clean, like they just finished shaving or something. Like, it's pretty, it's clean, it's very welcoming overall. Like, I don't know if I can pick up all of these scent notes. These are some different ones that I don't normally get, like the Immortelle. I'm not exactly sure how that's working here. Next to the flint, that's a new one. I thought that was going to be a lot darker. When I'm smelling this, it doesn't really stand out. I think it just adds a little kind of like charm in a new way.
All right, y'all, and we have washed out our collection of Captain's Choice bowls for the second half of our episode. We thought them very apropos. This is the Commander Bowl from Captain's Choice, a brass version of their copper bowl. And boy, did this make a splash in the wet shaving world. This is our Moonstriker brush from PAA with the Snickle Synth knot. All right, here we go. You know what's funny?
Yeah?
The grapefruit's already kind of going away.
Oh, I was going to expect it would come out brighter somehow.
No, it's actually melting, surrendering to the orange a little bit more. What were the other scent notes, as long as we're doing this?
While we're doing this, you keep lathering. Here we go. Top notes, orange, grapefruit, and immortelle. Middle notes, flint, pepper, geranium. Base notes, cedarwood, amber, vetiver, patchouli, and benzoate.
Ooh, how do you get the cedar?
You know, now that you're saying that, I almost want to say that's as dark as this gets for me. Is that weird? But like just that kind of basement floor, it's just clean and sturdy throughout the whip. It does have a sweeter side to it. I can see where the amber is kind of hinting a little more vanilla. It doesn't quite go like creamsicle or anything too gourmandy. It just gentles it up a little. I don't know how it's being so clean without going musky.
Ooh, I'm getting something beautifully creamy.
Oh, okay.
Out of this now. So this is something you'll only find here on the Barbershop Duet. This is the 1945 whiff. On 3, 1, 2. Ooh, I like this more and more the more I smell it. Yeah, that's better. This is a much nicer balance. But of course, this is always what your perfumer intended.
Yes. Okay, so interesting to me, this has the lightest scent intensity compared to the other three. They were super vibrant and in your face. This is a much tamer balance. Almost good for like a newbie vibe. Like I really feel like there's nothing pokey in here. There's nothing that's like taking over the scent. It kind of is an adventure in itself.
Usually if citrus is a bit lacking in the other formulations, you'll find it in the splash and the EDP a lot better.
The amber, something in the amber is getting more of that classic aftershave-y kind of vibe, like almost something in Old Spice or something like that, like kind of throwing it. It's not quite boozy, but it's definitely more amber in hue.
Oh, much more of an aftershave-y balance, even something a little leathery, way under the surface for me, and how the grapefruit's binding with the patchouli.
I might be getting more of the flint now.
Yeah,
then I was
right.
something more raw and rugged. I think it's almost like a leathery kind of a rock-ish thing.
All right, back in your spot. You go, and it's time to open door number 5. All right, here we go.
Okay.
Oh.
What do we have? Ooh, does that say witchcraft on there?
Looks
it
like
does. The witchcraft.
The witchcraft.
Okay, something went rogue with these mermaids. They have turned.
I think mermaids and sirens are not all that
there
far
we go.
apart. And here's the lore, y'all. The witchcraft. Top, neroli, fir balsam. Middle, ginger, cardamom, oud wood, and pepper. Bottom, patchouli, sandalwood, and tonka. December 22nd, 1967. The Witchcraft, a 23-foot cabin cruiser, idles in calm water just off Miami. The shoreline close enough to feel routine, close enough to feel safe. The call for help is steady, almost casual, a minor strike, no immediate concern, then a pause, the kind that doesn't belong on an open line. One last mention of something in the water that shouldn't be there, something watching from below and above, a shape that does not move with wind or wave, a cube, hanging where nothing should hang. The line goes dead. When help arrives, there is only water, smooth, undisturbed, as if nothing had been there at all.
Fun fact, sailors told of a sea witch who looked human at a distance, but changed the closer you got. Something about her was always off. In old European legend, Melusine was described the same way. A woman who was not entirely human, seen near water and gone, once recognized.
Did we mention that we missed this in our last episode? It came with a sticker, maybe of the creature that was just
Yes, so
referencing.
look at this, and then look at how kind of creepy scary they get in this one.
All right, you go
All right,
first. Take
first
it in.
with-
See what you get.
Hanging out with some scary witchcrafty mermaids. Another original. I like this. Okay, it starts off safe. Like it's bringing you in with those citruses. You're comfortable. Everything's good. I think the fir balsam actually really seems a little more friendly. And then it starts diving a little deeper. I think the oudiness or something in there, like the deeper depths of the ocean are talking.
Marinara Trench. A lot of spaghetti sauce down there.
Okay, the last one you mentioned, like a lemon lime Sprite kind of thing, I'm getting something a little effervescency going on in here. But then it's kind of going parallel with the dark things. So I really do feel like it's kind of like a mood ring. You look at it on one side, you feel safe, you feel good. The other side, colors all change, everything's inside out and backwards. I think so far, this is the one I would reach for first.
Oh.
The nicer spices and the sweeter things on one side really kind of help have a fun parallel that just kind of keeps moving. I almost feel like I'm playing like a pinball game. Like it's just going back and forth. This is not in the bay rum category, but it has spices and sweeter things that are similar, which is why I think I'm leaning towards this bad boy. It's not that this goes feminine. I think it just has a little more depth in between, which is adding like a fun flirty kind of thing for me. This is doing for me what Blue Moon Bay Rum did. I don't know what sparked in my soul that day, but this is a familiar cousin, at least how it's striking me. I feel like I'm at a safe resort. I don't think I'm on the water. I don't think I'm in the ocean. I could maybe be on the sand, but there's something a little more land-bound for me about this. I'm still coastal. It's around, but it's not as aquatic as the others. See if you can find the witches hiding in here. I felt pretty safe.
I'm going in. All right, here we go. Oh. Interesting. Much less sweet than I was expecting. Probably our least sweet aquatic, but it reads like clouds to me. I can almost smell the fog that sits above the water when something weird is happening, and I gotta push my nose through it. This is the epitome of open sea air. It's not the water. It's a crisp, clean, fresh air scent.
I think that's the fir balsam helping in there.
Yeah,
Something about that.
I'm shocked there's not like an ozone in this, because that's the lane I would put this in.
That was the effervescency thing I think I was getting.
And you know what's cool? If I can push all the way through the clouds down to that overcast beach, which, by the way, living here in California, most beaches are very overcast for most of the day, I get a tiny hit of like a sunscreen at the bottom.
Oh, I
like
can
a
see that.
familiar 80s sunscreen, but you got to go way deep.
Not fully copper tone and not
No.
anything coconutty, but there is something a little more in that lane.
Like the clean white wood of a mast and the canvas cottony sense of the sail. I'm getting a very fabric-y sort of feel from this. You can almost feel the texture of it.
I love that we're being swayed by all this ocean fun aquatic-y vibes.
And this is very different for me. I mean, this is sweet, but in a very different way. My brain's giving me like this is the least sweet of the 5 that we've smelled so far. This is a little bit of the animalistic side of the oud, somewhere between oud and, well, civet.
Are you getting that pinball kind of vibe? Like my nose just couldn't settle on where to land.
Well, it's more about what altitude I'm at, because at first I'm definitely above the clouds, looking down at them cottony, sort of. And then as I push through them, I get more of the ground, more of the beach, more of that almost sunscreeny congeniality at the very bottom.
Does it kind of go more masculine or feminine to you, or would you agree it's more unisex?
It reminds me of my Aunt Jan, who did not have kids, so of course she loved my sister and I. Well, she loved me. I spent a week with her every summer down in San Diego, and sometimes she'd have to go like take care of some business somewhere or submit a bid for her husband who was a contractor. And she would wear the most beautiful perfumes and colognes that were very understated. They didn't need to prove a point. They just smelled like money. This smells like my Auntie Jan. And this is my Captain's Choice Aqua Marine bowl that we're going to push this soap into.
That fir balsam's talking some more, y'all.
You know, now that you mention that, hold on a second. Yeah, I'm not really getting it, except if I dive down to the beach, I think that's part of the sunscreen is like that beautiful sweet Christmas tree sap part of the Douglas fir. That's what's giving me the sense of sunscreen at the very bottom.
And my brain still wants to be cousins with Blue Moon Bay Rum. I don't know.
And turn on the Doppler radar, because this is the Doppler brush from Phoenix Artisan Accoutrements. Beautifully soft knot, but with a lot of backbone. And we're going to use our temporal distortion device to build a quickie lather just like this. All right, what do you get from the lather?
I am getting that fresh fog off the bay, like kind of that zesty side, a little chilly in the air, but it's still subtly sweet, like the sun is still kind of fighting its way through.
Oh, interesting. See, for me, it goes into that sort of musky center of right between the clouds and the beach. All right, see if you find more of the fir balsam in the splash. What do you get from that?
No, these guys look scary, man. Okay, that oud depth is really talking to me. It's less sweet. I kind of found a little bit more of a ground floor, I think. Like the ginger is quieter, that kind of orange neroli thing is quieter. I think the oud's the one that's talking the most for me now. Maybe the pepper and patchouli, something in there, just much more grounded. See what you get.
This kind of has that 60s aftershave-ness to it somehow in the middle, in the splash. I really didn't get that much from the soap.
It's still dry, but it has a little bit more of that aftershave herby kind of pepperness coming through.
I think it's kind of the Hedione musks kind of thing going on in the middle of this. Not a real strong edge. No. Not a real strong personality. But it allows you to let yours come through.
Yeah, I do still think doors 1 through 3 were much more potent in a scent intensity. Right. These are more like a just behind your shoulder kind of a thing.
And speaking of things that might be lurking over your shoulder, why don't we grab the calendar and open day number 6. Okay, you go hide in there where it's safe.
Stay in your spot.
And here we go.
Last door.
Number 6. Let's see what we've got.
I don't want to jinx it, but we ripped these pretty good, y'all. Oh, flight number 16002.
Let's see what we've got going on in here.
I think we're in the plane. Like there's a bunch of seats and people in here, y'all.
Oh, this is called the Douglas DC-3 NC 16002, an homage to Mont Blanc Explorer.
Oh.
I think Legend is by Mont Blanc.
Right. Yes, yes.
Not wrong. And I think that's kind of an homage to the original Abercrombie and Fitch Fierce scent, or at least a kind of a version of it. All right. What do we got?
So top notes: bergamot, clary sage, pink peppercorn. Middle: cypriol, leather, vetiver. Base notes: amber, patchouli, musk, and wood. We are still in December. I think the last 3 we were in December.
A lot happened in December.
December 28th, 1948, the Douglas DC-3 NC 16002 nears Miami under a dim, hazy sky. The city lights already ahead. The flight nearly complete. The pilot reports routine conditions, nothing out of place, yet the radio signal weakens and the aircraft begins to drift just slightly off course. Then, through the static, a final barely audible transmission slips through, a confused report of a strange purple cube, seen momentarily inside the cabin. No further explanation follows. There is no urgency in the voice. Then contact fades. The aircraft never arrives. No wreckage is recovered. It disappears with land in sight, like a cat letting something run before cruel, inevitable fate comes crushing down.
Fun fact, Evil Cube was not discovered, it was created. Formed when the original cube split in 2 during a surge of energy at Stonehenge. Oh, yeah, we've read that book. You can buy it at the PAA website, leaving 1 cube that escaped and 1 pure evil purple cube behind. Source: The Fresco Mystery by Douglas White. 2021. See?
All right, since you did read that whole book, you need to have the first wolf.
My copy is autographed. Jealous? Oh, interesting. Y'all, your brain kind of goes to what it knows. That's the whole theory behind seeing a man in the moon, right? So my brain takes me to 2 places. Fierce, or Mont Blanc Legend. There's some of that DNA in here. And then a little bit of that Luna Rosa carbon that we experienced yesterday. It's like those 2 came together and had a baby. It's like the cube splitting, except in reverse.
So a little aquatic-y, if it's kind of hinting at the first one? Okay.
For sure. And you know, if you are fans of that Abercrombie and Fitch Fierce scent that I was too fat for them to sell me back in the 90s and 2000s, some of that DNA is in here. In fact, a lot of that DNA is in here for me.
So a little more brisk kind of cleanliness, maybe?
Yeah, but it's about the musks. It's about the ISOE supers. It's about the Hediones. It's about those beautiful, cloudy, foggy things that are giving you that hug. And definitely taking you out to sea. I am not sure if during our Lightish Red episode for Sterling, we were aware of how aquatic that really was, but it is very aquatic. And where the original Fierce does go a bit more sour to me, this takes a turn and becomes sweeter, but only at those depths. The citrus is different. The florals are different. And then Green Sky at Morning. Sailor, take warning. It does have a little bit of a green sky over the top of all of it that I think is the sage. That's different from Fierce or Legend as well.
Does it smell more cologne-y, less aftershavey? Like some of the other ones have kind of been vibing on that line.
Yes, but in a very modern way.
Okay.
Only in the last 10 years. There is nothing about a 40s, 50s, 60s aftershave in this one for me at all.
That's fun. This whole calendar was kind of listing different time zones, so this one's got to cover the more current one.
Bergamot sparkling over the top of all of it like it does in Chanel number 5. Yeah, I'd say this was just about as unisex as it gets. And a delight. I love this balance. And remember the first time you did get out of the car anywhere near an Abercrombie & Fitch and you were hit with that fierce sense of that EDP and your brain just lit up of like, what is that intriguing sense? And like the Pied Piper, you want to follow it until the clerks there started giving you the fisheye? That is in here. That utter uniqueness, that utter intrigue of that scent.
I'm surprised nobody else has done an homage to this one yet before. Across our paths, it's kind of fun to get to know it.
I don't think I remember this from anywhere else. And I love that the original is called Explorer. Isn't that what we're all doing? All right, take this in. See what you get.
Hey, our last one.
Into this right now. Hold on.
This kind of reminds me of the label of when they have like the audience at the movie theater and a few of their other PAA ones.
Right.
Like there's something about having this many faces staring at you.
Okay, there's leather in this that's not in that. Just giving you coming attractions. All right, take that in.
I think you're right. This is the most current smelling one for me. Like, time stamp it. The other ones get close, some of the homages, but this is probably the most current. Although it does throw something to the 90s for me, so maybe that was the fierce thing that you were talking about earlier. It stays pretty bright. Like, there should be, like, neon signs around this for me. Something's a little flashy in a fun way. It's less blue, if I'm talking colors. I do agree that it has a little more of a green hue with it, but not like a dried herb. Something fresh and new, kind of fresh, clean, herby. I can tell there's citruses in this, but it doesn't pull me quite to orange or like the complete aquatic. It just kind of hints at it.
And none of the sourness of the grapefruit that I was experiencing earlier.
I can tell this is an homage to a cologne right away, but I'm not sure exactly what's giving it away. It's a fun thing, but it kind of is just like, I don't know if we have things that are close enough to it that my brain's like, oh, I think I know this, but not quite. It's a familiar friend, but kind of done in a different way.
I think it's the musks.
It's just blended so well, I can't really pull apart the scent notes.
And did we even mention this fabulous guitar pick that came in door number 1 for you to scoop your soap out with? And here comes another lightning fast PAA lather with a little help from the temporal distortion field of the Cube. And this is the StarCraft brush delivered here by the Cube. Thank you very much. And this is something you will only find here in the Barbershop Duet. This is the It's the Last Day with. On 3, 1, 2. Yeah, I still say it's kind of halfway between Fierce by Abercrombie & Fitch and the Luna Rosa Carbon that we started out the calendar with.
I think there's something like neon green about this one. If I had to pick a color, that's where my brain goes. Let me see if I get the leather happening in here,
yes.
like you mentioned.
I definitely got it in there. Not even a suede, but more of like a real leather in there.
Yeah, there's something more dressed up about this. Like, you could wear this more with a suit than I think some of the other ones. There's something a little more dapper going on.
Anyone else remember when David Copperfield ruined his career by bringing a boat back from the Bermuda Triangle? And we were all expecting, like, a boat? But it was, like, about David Copperfield's weird. I worked at a magic nightclub for years, and people who knew him, stay away.
So since we ended the last one picking our favorites out of the trio, do we pick it out of the 6 now?
I think that's only fair. Which ones did you like best?
I'm going to stick with, I think, 5. So that one is Witchcraft. I think there's like an intriguing factor. Like, I want to figure it out, which is, I think, what I really liked about the Blue Moon Bay Rum. Like, I thought I knew the Bay Rum side, but it actually made the other parts of it wake up way more. So I'm kind of thinking this is the most adventurous for me for a little summer fun.
And I think out of the entire calendar, I'm going to go with door number 1. That Luna Rosa Carbon homage is absolutely indistinguishable to my nose from the original decant that we have in the Shave Den.
The actual name for that one was the Ellen Austin.
And while we did buy both of these ourselves, we do want to send out a giant thank you to Douglas and Fran for this reason. I never miss a live episode of Saturday Night Live. And the reason is, it's one of the very last things that, for me, this whole country does together. Other than that, and like nationally televised sporting events, when do we ever all sit down and have the same experience at the same time and are able to talk about it on Facebook or call our friends and discuss it? These give us those same experiences. Everybody's opening their doors on the same day. Everybody's experiencing those shaves at the same time, and everybody's talking about them on Facebook and calling their friends about them. Thank you for giving us that sense of community, camaraderie, and adventure. through these calendars, and I don't know about you, but I can't wait for summer 2027.
Don't forget your next appointment with the Barbershop Duet.
You'll smell more adventurous just watching this.